Hello, my loves. What's up? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all feeling the cleanse, the rejuvenation through the screen. You guys, smoke cleanse is like one of my favorite things. It's one of my favorite parts of the day. I do it almost daily and it makes me feel so good. My 5-year-old loves to do it and she gets very upset when I do it without her. I know, so cute, but that's how good it feels. She feels the cleanliness afterwards. All right, so today we are going to go over the full moon eclipse in the sign of Taurus. I'm really excited to explain this to you guys. It's a very powerful time, a very transformative time, and almost like new starts to, well, I will explain it to you. So in this video, we're going to go over the energies that this full moon entails. I'll give you a ritual that you can use, a little bit of the planetary alignments. I don't go into too depth with that. And some correspondence that you can use, a goddess to call upon, archangel to call upon, essential oils, and some crystals that are good for the Taurus energy. And we will also cap it off with a 1-card manifesting moonology oracle card reading. Okay, so let's dive right in. This is happening November 19th at 1:57 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, which would be 3:57 Eastern Standard Time. Just kind of figure out where it is in the time zone that you live in so you can get the most and the best kind of the best time out of the energies. So when we are coming up to the new moon, we look at the 5 days. We look at the following, the pre 2 days, the 2 days before. Sorry, you guys. I don't know. I just like totally went blank right there. Like malfunction. And then obviously the new moon day. So the most powerful day, or sorry, full moon day. And so the most powerful day will be the Friday, November 19th. And then the following 2 days. So all of these 5 days will be very powerful and can come with a lot of intense energies. All right, so this full moon eclipse marks a new season of eclipses. We will also have a lunar eclipse. I believe it's December 4th, which will be the new moon lunar eclipse. But this marks a new specific season. So for the following months and years, we will be seeing eclipses only in the sign of Taurus and Scorpio. So get used to this energy. It's just, these will be the energies kind of following every single eclipse, which is pretty cool because I personally really like working with the moon in Taurus because of the house that it rules. But we will go over that, okay? So the moon rules over our emotions, our intuition. And so obviously the full moons, they heighten our emotions and our energy at this time of the month, every single month. That's when the loony people come out because it's like the loony people, literally lunar cycle, the full moon. That wasn't a coincidence. And this one is obviously being the sign of the fixed sign Taurus. And the energy that it rules, the part of a chart, is our values, cash, property, material items, how we value ourself. So keeping that in mind as well. And then opposing the sun, which is in the sign of Scorpio, that rules the part of a chart around the joints, finances, debt, transformation, the life, death, rebirth kind of cycle. And the sun is our ego, identity, self, soul self. So right now we are just going to be creating a balance between these two with what we can surrender and release to, because the full moon is about climaxes, the culmination. It's time to hit that peak and then surrender to what is and release, everything that what is not, or what we had maybe hoped and wished for from the new moon to the full moon. And a lot of forgiving, surrendering. I think the full moon is really, to me personally, it's about forgivingness. And a lot of times it's forgivingness of thyself for me personally, because I tend to just hold on to things and, play stories in my head of like guilty, or I should have been a better mom or a better wife or a better friend, whatever it was, right? And so a lot of forgiveness of thyself, of whoever has, hurt you in the past, whoever you want to forgive. This is the most perfect time to do that. All right. So then we bring the eclipse into the equation, and we're basically faced with unavoidable change through any issues that we have been working through, or maybe new issues that we didn't necessarily know were even there, just kind of like pop up. So right now we don't really have to intentionally sit down and think about what we want to release. A lot of times during the eclipse seasons, they just happen because we're literally forced with these things that need to be surrendered to, transformations and changes. Okay. So right now it's a really important time to ground yourself, be calm, you know, look inwards, like really turn yourself inwards, because, you know, eclipses, they can be very beautiful and very exciting. So we want to go dance around, like watch the eclipse. But now it's time to create that sense of calm, the sense of peace, and just be very introspective during this time. So if you do go outside, like sit out and bask in the sunlight that will be this most beautiful orange color, and just kind of, you know, be and allow what comes up to come up. And side note, I did not mention this at the beginning, this is the first longest lasting partial eclipse for 580 years ago. That was the last one that lasted this long. I think it'll be about 6 hours. So if you are feeling like you either want to wake up really early or just don't go to bed until the early morning, it would be a beautiful sight to see. And again, do all of this work underneath the eclipse. I think that would be super cool. All right. So with all the heightened motions and the battle between the sun and the moon and the light and the dark, because when you think about, you know, the eclipse, it's literally like the sun is coming over the moon, and it's like the light, it's literally the battle between them, right? And so this can actually fuel breakthroughs, dramatic changes, and, you know, crises that actually do turn out to be something very beneficial, hindsight. So like, say somebody loses their job, or, you know, a relationship ends, anything big that can happen, it can be a blessing in disguise, even though we are not seeing it in that moment. This is why it's so important to trust that what's ahead of us is for our highest good. So say we let go of a job and we're so upset, we're like, how do we pay our bills? Like, oh my goodness. So maybe that's an opportunity for you to like start a side business that you've really been wanting to do. Or maybe it pushes you into a different career path that actually was super aligned, that you had no clue you actually enjoyed. So how can you be open to the possibilities, change your perspectives, and, you know, release the limiting beliefs with this full moon energy, and to just be, okay? It's just gonna be a time to create deep clarity within, and also inner contentment. So some magical insights may be had during this time, but this is why it's important to slow down, create that sense of calm, because when we're in that frantic state, we're not able to receive messages and downloads like we are, you know, when we're calm, because maybe we don't see signs, like we don't see feathers or coins that have dropped, or, you know, we're just too quick to jump to the next thing, that we don't receive these most beautiful messages that the divine, or, you know, whatever you believe in it, are trying to give to us to let us know that we are on the right path, and that we are supported, and that we are loved from different realms. Okay. And so this alignment allows us to look at our strengths, assets, and resources that have been developing over the time, kind of do that evaluation, and to check in to see what we're holding on to. You know, are the people that we're holding on to that really don't feel in alignment with who we are now, or experiences that we've had and memories that we've had too, that, you know, they just really aren't serving us. And this is a perfect time to release that with the full moon and eclipse. And so Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is the planet of love, beauty, money. And so this can be a shining opportunity for it to just like shine the light on our relationships and evolving relationships and just the love, right? And so Pluto will be in a trine with the moon. Pluto brings in the energy of transformation and represents the subconscious. within us. Okay, so this allows us to step into a deeper power within and helps us to understand our beliefs and how we manifest and how we experience the world, right? And so again, the beliefs and the life, death, rebirth has a lot to do with the Scorpio too. Like that's the Scorpio energy as well, right? And so with that being in alignment, keeping that in mind when you are doing your releasing of your, what no longer holds you back. So limiting beliefs that like no longer hold you back, and allow the transformation to come with this eclipse season, because either way it's going to happen. And so there's two ways to look at change, right? Change is inevitable. No matter what, it'll change. Things in our life will change, right? And so we can either make the choice to change things the way that we want it to change, or at least give, ourselves an idea of a route that we'd like to go, or the universe will change things for you and you don't really have the choice of what it is. So again, change is inevitable. So you can ultimately kind of shift things in directions that you would like to go, while keeping an open mind and an open perception to see other possibilities that we are being faced. So let this moon help you steer away from your bonds that aren't aligned with you and to your path, and where you would sincerely, desire to go and to desire to be, to make way for new opportunities and fulfilling dynamics in our life. Okay. Oh, so exciting. And now this is probably my favorite part of working with the moons in Taurus. Is Taurus, it rules in the natural natal chart, it rules the second house. And so that house, so Taurus's energy is all about, again, the cash, possessions, material items, your values, how you value yourself. And so with the full moon comes surrendering and releasing and letting go of. So right now is a really good time to evaluate your money situation and finance situation. Okay, so what are your money beliefs? What are your values around money? Like, how important is it to you? What are your money blocks? What's holding you back from financially being where you would like to be? Where does your money story come from? Is there someone, more often, it's basically always our money story is created from, the people that we're surrounded with as a young person. So our caregivers, our parents or grandparents, the people that we're around all the time, that is how we create our own financial kind of status. Anyway, like our money beliefs is what I'm trying to say. So maybe there's some forgivingness that needs to be done around this, because maybe your parents meant very well intentions with money, but the language that they used around it wasn't healthy, or there's never enough money. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money is the root of all evil. Like all of these very disempowering money beliefs are in our subconscious, because that's kind of what we're told. It's like, no, you can't get that. What do you think? I just have all this money? Or, you're just being constantly said no because of money, right? And so then now we have this money scarce belief that money is hard to come by, or you have to work extremely, extremely hard in order to achieve or, receive any type of money that's, worth, not worth, but like that we can create like a life that's above just being able to live paycheck to paycheck, right? And so just really keeping that in mind and forgiving that part of yourself for holding on to those beliefs, but then forgiving who passed them down to you, because they, I'm sure, had no clue what they were doing at the same time. Maybe they were frustrated with their own financial situation, and that you as a kid were constantly asking for stuff, or whatever it is. Or it's like maybe you were never able to eat out, so it's like, no, we can't eat out because we can't afford it. I'm just gonna make a new meal. So whatever it is, really tap into those things and write it all out, and write out exactly who gave you those beliefs, and then we're just going to surrender to them, because we can create new money beliefs. And I do have a creating abundance mindset workbook. If you are really wanting to tap into this is on my website. I will link my website in the comments, in the description box, if you do want to go and try out that workbook to shift your money blocks after you release them. All right. So those are the biggest things that this full moon entails and what's coming up for us. So I'm going to go over the correspondence for you. So the goddess to call upon is Hathor. Yeah, the goddess to call upon is Hathor, the Egyptian goddess of love, music, beauty, and fertility. The archangel to call upon is Archangel Camuel, the angel of pure love and relationships. And an essential oil to use is Lang Lang, soothing for soothing and calming energies. I'm terrible at pronunciation, guys, if you have not noticed. And some crystals that you can use for Taurus energy are lapis lazuli. If I can get another. Wow, there we go. Lapis lazuli, rose quartz, emerald, and just a clear quartz. All right, so that is what I found out that was good for the Taurus season. Another thing that you can do is embrace the process. Taurus loves structure. They're very structured beings. Again, full, sturdy, steady. They like the structure. So if you've been a little too like, woo, or maybe heads up in the clouds or too all over the place, really sit down and create maybe like a plan, whether that's a financial plan or just like just some type of structure you're being called to kind of bring into your life. Another thing you can do is treating yourself. So sometimes like something beautiful, like a beautiful bouquet of flowers, something that will bring beauty into your life, or something earthy like a plant, or maybe buying some new sage or incense, you know, whatever it is. Those are just some like extras that you can do for the full moon, okay? And a ritual that you can use, we're just going to keep it very simple because the energies will be so strong. So get yourself grounded, get all of your supplies that you're going to be using ready, notebook, pen, paper, a safe place to burn the paper over a pot of water, wherever that may be, or, you know, if you actually are able to have a fire, whatever that looks like for you, okay? So first things first, we're going to sit, we're going to presence ourselves, take some calming, really big, deep breaths. I like to start with my practice with thinking of some things that I'm grateful for, and then I go in full surrender mode to what I would like to release. I will have journaling prompts as well. If you guys do want them, feel free to comment in the section below and I will get them to you. But with that being said, the first kind of page that I like to do is all of the patterns, habits that no longer serve me that I want to release. So I write all of those down completely, everything out. The next page is where I will do the journaling prompts that I have for myself. And then I will do the forgivingness list. So anybody that I feel like needs forgiving. So again, if you are kind of looking towards the energy of using the financial or money kind of beliefs, is going on a forgivingness around that area of our life. Who do we want to forgive? Why would I like to surrender to these money beliefs? Like, why do they no longer serve me? Write that shit all out. And if you don't want to do just money, write out, you know, any upsets that you've had in the past. Whatever, as long you can go back as far, you can go as far back as you would like, but especially, you know, this past month, if you've had anybody that's really upset you this past month, especially being, I find like in the Scorpio season, it was just a very intense kind of deep energy from a lot of people, and I feel like some stuff was said that maybe wasn't meant to be said in the way that it was. So just do some forgiving of yourself, whatever self-forgivingness looks like, whatever you need to surrender to yourself for, write it all out, okay? Because like fully, because we're gonna burn it. That's the point of it, is when you fully surrender and let it all out. And you know, if you feel like you have to cry, then cry and get angry and do whatever you have to do, because we're gonna burn it. Nobody's gonna see it. We're going to literally, like the phoenix from the ashes, like we're going to take it from like feeling low and we're going to let it just like soar into something new. It's going to completely transform. It's going to shift. It's going to pivot into a new energy, because energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but it can be transformed into a different form of energy. Okay, so that is that. I finish it off with my meditation afterwards. I do my cards, and usually after I do the burning, that's when I'll sage. So at that time, I'll sage my basement, like where I currently am. And then, you know, maybe during the day, I sage the whole house, or the next day I sage the whole house. Because I typically do my rituals either in the morning or in the nighttime when nobody else is awake. So for me, that's what feels aligned. And if you want to charge your crystals, put them outside under the full moon as well. Just be cautious of the weather, obviously, because some crystals, they are not able to get wet. So yes, there we have you guys. I will do the 1 card reading. Let's see what comes up and what this full moon in Taurus eclipse wants us to know. Okay. Wow. All right. So last quarter moon in Taurus. Be proud of yourself, lovely. Be proud of yourself. Okay, so the last quarter moon is like, what are we going to fully like last surrender to so we can pivot to something new at the new moon? You know, what is the last thing that we need to release in order to make shifts for the new moon? So be proud of yourself. Be proud of all that you've accomplished so far, and be proud of yourself for showing up today, you know, doing the research to figure out what this moon entails so you can kind of live your best life and work in all areas of your life. That's why I love working with the moon, is because you work in 12 different areas in your life throughout the whole year, and twice you surrender to all 12 signs with the full moon once a year, and then you manifest and you work towards all 12 parts of our life to look forward to once a year, right? Every single sign, we go through it once a year. And so it's very beautiful. So honestly, just be proud of yourself. And I feel like once you do, the potential will be a lot easier to reach. Like, it'll just be like, oh, okay, like I got this because I believe in myself and I know I can do it. And I know that what's ahead of me is of my highest good. And sometimes if we don't feel those feelings, if we don't give ourselves honestly, like a pat on the back and our own recognition and our own validation, our mind won't want to go back. Okay. So it's the way that our mind works. We are, reward-based. We have reward-based mind. So reward yourself in a healthy ways. Okay. Recognize yourself for all that you're doing and just be proud. All right, my loves. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this full moon eclipse and Taurus reading, and let me know if you do like these. It does motivate me to keep going. And if you want the journaling prompts, comment below and I will get them to you. Thank you guys so much for showing up, and we will chat soon. Bye.